Good evening, it's 8 o'clock. I'm Sally Burdett, live from Johannesburg. In your headlines tonight.
He's committing himself to get into an arrangement of repaying that which can be repaid, which was received as a result of corruption.
Vhavenda King offers to pay back any ill-gotten gains. And one of the mayors who invested millions in VBS says it looked like a good idea at the time, but admits the money is now gone.
There's no question that he did it multiple times.
Cheryl Zondi accused of lying in her testimony that she was raped by Pastor Timothy Omato, but she stands her ground. The man accused of murdering activist Ahmed Timol in the 1970s is trying for a permanent stay of prosecution, but the judge is having no more delays. Let's start here. People named in the VBS Bank report are starting to speak out. Today, Vhavenda King Toni Mphephu-Ramabulana said he's willing to pay back any tainted money he may have received from the Mutual Bank. A forensic report indicated the King received over 17 million rand in payments. Earlier today, our reporter Zikona Chona interviewed the King's spokesperson.
Is the King denying any involvement in this saga? Is he denying that there was an amount of 17 million rand transferred from VBS to his account?
The issue here is not about the King denying or not denying. I think you will know that even Terry Mutao himself, he is saying that his report does not find a person criminally guilty at the moment. The report has been submitted to those who mandated him to draw it up. What is at issue here is that there was corruption at the bank as reported. The name of the King was brought into association with that, and the King is at pains, is feeling pain with his subjects who lost their money. And he is saying he was not aware that some of these gifts and benefits that he received were received from sources that were tainted. And as a result of that, with the benefit of that knowledge now, he's saying it was just shameful for that to happen. And to the extent possible, it's saying that the relevant authorities who are in charge of the processes, they will need to sit with him so that they can break down all these things for him to find out exactly what is it that was received by him, which was received from tainted sources, so that then we can work a way forward. Already in the statement, he's committing himself to get into an arrangement of repaying that which can be repaid, which was received as a result of corruption.
And the mayor of the municipality that invested over 230 million rand with VBS has spoken out today. Mayor Johannes Pokani of the Fetahomo Greater Tubatse municipality in Burgersfort says they didn't think they were breaking the law by investing municipal funds in a mutual bank. He insists they invested with the hope of getting more money for service delivery. Now, my colleague Kathy Motlatlana spoke to the mayor earlier today.
The Treasury guidelines seem to be quite clear on the fact that municipalities cannot invest in mutual banks. Why did your municipality invest in VBS?
The Treasury guideline does not come out clearly to say that there should be no investment in mutual banks.
The Reserve Bank said that they had made it clear to municipalities that they cannot invest in mutual banks. So I'm going to ask you again, why did you invest money into VBS?
We don't communicate with the Reserve Bank as municipalities. We communicate with Treasury, and I must indicate that the regulations and the guidelines that we have do not come out clearly to say we are not supposed to invest with mutual banks. But like I indicated, that with hindsight, as we go through it, try to interpret the regulations, we definitely are able to understand why it is indicated that we should not have invested with mutual bank.
So are you saying that you didn't know that it was illegal for you to put your money into VBS?
We could not have just deliberately invested where we are not supposed to invest. It was an issue of not having, of maybe a faulty interpretation of the law.
Meanwhile, the municipality is struggling to deliver basic services such as water and has been unable to complete a number of housing projects. The mayor says the municipality is not bankrupt, just facing severe challenges. At the same time, he acknowledges that workers might not be paid their November salaries.
You've now lost 230 million rand that you should have been spending on services. And as we understand, this municipality is bankrupt. Can you confirm that?
We got challenges, financial challenges as a municipality.
The municipality is bankrupt. Can you confirm that this municipality is bankrupt?
The municipality has got financial challenges.
Is it not bankrupt, yes or no?
It is not bankrupt. It has got challenges, financial challenges.
Will you be able to pay workers' salaries at the end of November without any assistance?
We might have difficulty paying workers in November, but we are on it. We are attending to that one.
Well, the ANC met today to discuss the VBS report. ANC NEC member Bongani Bongo says all party leaders implicated in the VBS Bank heist report must be given an opportunity to tell their side of the story. ANC officials in Limpopo were summoned to a meeting with national officials at Luthuli House today. The meeting was also attended by other NEC members deployed to the province who are dealing with the looting of VBS. Provincial Treasurer Daniel Caesar, named as the kingpin in the VBS Bank heist report, is taking Advocate Terry Mutau's report on review. Bongani Bongo says Caesar and Deputy Chairperson Florence Radzilani must be given a fair hearing.
As the deployees of Limpopo are seized with this matter, we are receiving various reports around this matter. But all that is important is that we need to follow what we call rules of natural justice. Where names have been cited, they must be given an equal opportunity to respond to the issues that are raised against them, so that we are able to weigh and come up with the truth at the end of the day. But you are here now to meet around this matter and to check what to do as a way forward.
Meanwhile, the presidency has rejected a City Press newspaper report that President Cyril Ramaphosa failed to take action on the VBS Bank saga despite being alerted to irregularities back in 2017. They say the allegation is baseless and unsubstantiated. Moving to Port Elizabeth now, and the trial of Nigerian televangelist Timothy Omato. He's accused of sexually grooming up to 30 girls at his Umhlanga home outside Durban. Now, Cheryl Zondi, who testified last week that he raped her from the age of 14, was cross-examined today. At one point, defence advocate Peter Doberman asked her if she went to the pastor's house prepared to be raped again. Now, Judge Mandela Makola reprimanded him a number of times, in fact, saying no one asks to be raped. Doberman also accused Zondi of lying.
It's a question of adapting your version and fabricating your version. That's what you have done.
If you understand what trauma is in your field work, I'm sure you're very familiar with that. Trauma involves a lot of remembering and flashbacks and trying to forget things that happened to you. And I'm not trying to sound weak, that's just what happened to me. I didn't want to remember what that man did to me. But there's no question that he did it multiple times.
That was Cheryl Zondi under cross-examination today in the Eastern Cape High Court. She's testifying against Pastor Timothy Omato, accused of sexual assault and grooming underage girls. Let's take a look at other local stories today. And in Cape Town, the My City bus service was disrupted for much of the day, with employees and drivers on a wildcat strike. Some employees who attempted to work were intimidated. Police fired stun grenades to control the protesting workers. The City of Cape Town says it isn't sure what the employees' grievances are, but employees say they want salary increases and better working conditions. They say they'll continue their strike until their demands are met.
Forward thinking in terms of how to build this platform going forward.
On the verge of collapse, that's according to the Revenue Collector's Acting Group Executive for IT Strategy and Architecture, Andre Rabi. He's been testifying at the Nugent Commission today, and testimony is focused on suspended SARS Commissioner Tom Moyani's failure to modernise tax collection at the institution. And the South Gauteng High Court won't tolerate any further delays on the Omato murder case. Judge Ramarumo Monama has postponed the pre-trial to next Monday to allow murder-accused João Rodrigues to file an application for a permanent stay of prosecution. The former apartheid-era policeman faces charges of murder and defeating the ends of justice. Omatemo's family is convinced that Rodrigues has a case to answer. They've been seeking justice for the late anti-apartheid activist death for over 40 years. Still ahead on eNews, devastating floods wreak havoc in the south of France. More than 13 people have died. And Money News with Mateo.
Well, picture Naspers drags the market down, but the rand in better territory.
Talking money now with Moteo Kharipe. Hi there, Moteo. Steinhoff, back in the news, again for all the wrong reasons.
Well, the corruption-hit company basically has been scrambling to try and get lenders to give them a chance to have some debt restructuring in the company. Why they need this? Well, they lost about 90% of their value last year when the company's share collapsed, of course, because of that accounting corruption it's still being investigated by PwC. So what they did is that they had different meetings with all the bankers that have been lending them money, albeit even they did that with false records and false company documents. Now the investigation is still investigating that. But the main reason why they came out today is to, sell Kikalina, which is one of the property companies that they had, and they sold that to Signa to raise some cash as well, and also trying to buy time. So they've asked for a 1-month extension to all their lenders, and those include the likes of Investec, Standard Bank, PNB, Paribas from the West, international bankers as well. So they're asking them for a 3-year extension in order for the company to have enough money to keep afloat. So that's how much trouble the company is actually in. But they are likely to get that if the documents are put together.
I believe Marcus Jooste may be in more trouble.
Definitely. The company's share has been trading under 2 rand a share. You remember last year it was around 90 rand before that collapse, and it's now trading at about 1 rand 97 cents. The main reason was because the news that came out last week that the R-text that Marcus Jooste sent to his friends before the company collapsed. So he did, they're implying that he did see the trouble coming for the company, and he did know what was going to happen next. So he told his friends to bet against the company in order to make some money. He could face about 50 million rand fine for that, or some jail time under 10 years.
For insider trading?
Insider trading, definitely.
Talk us through the markets. The rand's had a slightly better day, I believe.
The rand has had a slightly better day, but the markets were a bit weaker today, and that's because Naspers was down more than 5% because the company that owns a third of that, being Tencent in China, is still struggling. Industrials down 3% and financials struggling despite the stronger rand. Mining shares were up, and that's because investors are still looking for that gold haven as the trade war continues. Platinum was up marginally, with the resources also in good territory. In commodity prices, the price of gold at $1,225 an ounce, and platinum was down marginally today, with Brent crude remaining low at $80.50 a barrel. The rand also punching above its weight at 14 rand 33, and that's because Moody's on Friday decided not to give a note to South Africa, which is of course a good sign. It's at 16 rand 58 against the euro and 18 rand 84 against the pound. So with Brent crude down and the rand doing quite well, we might get a cut in terms of the fuel price. But AA saying that we're looking forward to about 40 cents.
Oh. In November, right?
Yeah.
Oh, joy. Well, let's hope everyone's wrong about that. Thank you so much, Moteo Kharipe. Let's take a look at international news. Now, in the Middle East, Israeli soldiers have shot dead a Palestinian who allegedly tried to stab one of them in the occupied West Bank. Now, the incident occurred at a bus stop along the highway near the large Jewish settlement of Ariel. And in France, flash floods have turned a street into a river of wine as the beverage from a nearby warehouse leaked onto the road. 13 people have been killed after several months' worth of rain fell in just a few hours overnight. Water levels are expected to continue rising. Schools in the area have been closed, and residents have been told to stay at home. The break will go to Louis at our weather centre for your live weather report, and then A royal baby is on the way. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle share their exciting news with the world.
Now you can super clean and dry your floors with the FloorWiz double-sided spray mop. You can use it dry to clean and collect dust, or use it wet. Simply pull the trigger and remove the dirt, then flip around to dry. Get your FloorWiz today. With the Genesis Power Steam Advanced Irons 2,600 watts of steam power, you can easily iron right through denims quickly and easily, or even through 12 layers. Or use Genesis vertically to save time. Get your Power Steam Iron today. Find these great products from your Verimark store today.
Meet Stacy.
Hi.
She suffers from hair loss and hair thinning.
It's horrible.
She's tried many things to help restore her hair.
And my confidence.
But not everything. Try Vigro Tonic with Follicusan and Vigro Biocapsules with essential vitamins and minerals. The tonic helps reactivate hair cells and reduce hair loss, while the capsules help nourish hair from within. For optimal results, use as part of the Vigro 3-step system. Vigro.
Because hair is for keeps.
From an inner city flat to a shack. That's the reality for cash-strapped South Africans no longer able to afford state-subsidized rentals.
We ought to do that.
You are going to evict them?
We have to.
It's make me cross that one because I can't get at the RDP house. It's make me angry.
Checkpoint Tuesday at 10 on E!
Let's go to Cape Town. Louis Fernandez is standing by. Louis, we had really welcome rain here up country, though it did get a little wild in parts, certainly near Pretoria. Are we expecting more this week?
Sally, at the moment it looks as though a mostly dry week in Gauteng. We'll have to see what things look like close to the weekend, but for the next couple of days it does look fairly settled. And this week has started off settled after the crazy weekend weather. We're just having a weak cold front currently passing towards the south coast. That's going to bring in a bit of rain to the area overnight. Ahead of it, foggy conditions developing overnight over the eastern escarpment. That fog will burn up during the mid-morning hours. And then we're going to see a couple of thunder showers popping up over parts of Limpopo and Mpumalanga into tomorrow afternoon. Those will be quite isolated. And then as the cold front moves away, we're going to have some moisture pushing in over the east coast into tomorrow night. And that's going to bring rainfall to the area, in particular for KwaZulu-Natal. The Northern Cape, on the other hand, will see partly cloudy and dry conditions for Tuesday. Hot in Uppington, but in the south for Sutherland, it's going to be a cool day with a maximum of 20 degrees. Somewhat warmer conditions in the forecast for Cape Town as well as Vredendal, but towards the southern parts of the Western Cape, it is going to be another chilly day, but for now, no rain in the forecast. Port Elizabeth could have some light early morning rain, and that's going to start making its way up the coastline of the Eastern Cape, pushing inland towards tomorrow evening, so drizzle likely tomorrow night for Mthatha. We're also going to have a foggy morning in the KwaZulu-Natal interior. Things will be dry for the afternoon, but then at night we're going to have that cloud returning, and along with that the rain expected for the region. Afternoon thunderstorms popping up for some areas in Mpumalanga, including around Ermelo, and we'll see similar conditions into parts of Limpopo, but for other areas it stays dry and very hot. Lephalale 36 as a maximum. And if you're in the northwest and hoping for some rain, unfortunately you're out of luck. It's going to be a dry and hot afternoon over this province, and a dry day lies ahead for the Free State as well. And it's going to be a chilly morning in this province, with temperatures dipping fairly far below the 10-degree mark overnight. And finally, for Gauteng, cloud cover bubbles up in the afternoon, but we don't foresee any rain for your Tuesday. It's going to be a warm to hot afternoon across the province. Heading into Wednesday, we're going to see a few thunder showers once again developing in the northeastern parts. It's going to be a cold, cloudy and wet day into KwaZulu-Natal, but conditions do improve over that province on Thursday as things will be clearing out, but there could still be some morning rain, while the Highveld and the Cape provinces can expect a dry Thursday afternoon. That's all from the Weather Centre. It's back to you, Sally.
Thank you so much, Louis. And finally, there's another royal baby on the way. This time it's Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who are expecting their first child. Kensington Palace confirmed the news in a statement today. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are currently on tour in Australia. The Duchess is around 12 weeks pregnant and the baby is due around April next year. He or she will be the 7th in line to the British throne. Recapping your top story tonight, the Vhavenda King offers to pay back any ill-gotten gains. And one of the mayors who invested millions in VBS says it looked like a good idea at the time, but he admits the money is gone. From me and the team, it's a very good night.